Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Practical Diplomacy. I was asked what are the so-called faux pas of diplomacy, and if I could give a few examples. Well, with pleasure, because we can usually learn from them, and sometimes they are quite funny too. So we could say the definition of a diplomatic faux pas is a significant or embarrassing error or mistake that causes diplomatic dissonance. Well, you all understand what a mistake is, but it is important to know that there's no obvious line or definition of what makes it significant or embarrassing. It all depends on the context. Like here's an example. You all know about the de facto situation of Taiwan, but you also know that legally, because of the widely accepted One China principle, it counts as part of China. So it does not have embassies abroad. It can only have so-called representative offices, right? Now, if you are at a reception in any random country and you're chatting away in a friendly manner with a colleague from the embassy of another random country about anything, and you mention that another colleague from the Taiwanese embassy was there, well, then you have made a tiny mistake, since it's factually not true, but no one will be offended, right? So it is neither significant nor embarrassing. However, if all is the same, but your friend or colleague you're talking with is actually from the Chinese embassy, and you say this, that will count as an outright provocation, and the reaction will be officially conveyed as a note containing the actually legitimate Chinese objection. So it will count as a faux pas. So you see, as in any human interaction, as in all diplomatic interaction, context matters. So be attentive and sensitive to context. A very typical type of faux pas actually comes from lack of attention. I have seen wrong flags used so many times when welcoming a foreign partner. I have heard diplomats or politicians leading delegations mix up the city or even the country which was receiving them. These are obviously just mistakes, but they convey the feeling that you are not important enough even to care who you are exactly, right? So these are very damaging in reality. They hurt at the instinctive level, and there's just simply no justification for them. But a faux pas can result from random chaos or lack of preparation too. Once the Polish president was welcoming the French president and the German chancellor in the yard of his palace, and the three anthems were played by a military band, which lasted a good 8-9 minutes. And right after the music started, a very heavy rain came from nowhere. So the three VIPs standing next to each other were getting wet. No one dared to move during the anthems, but one guy in the security detail of the Polish president had an umbrella. So he covered his president a little bit and the German chancellor a little bit, but the French president was completely soaked by the time they could move inside. And I was watching this live together with my Polish diplomat colleagues who were completely ashamed about this terrible faux pas, letting one president soak while covering the other two, and basically just not being prepared for all possible scenarios. It happened at a kayak canoe world championships that the organizers simply downloaded the national anthems of the participating countries without sending the files for approval to the delegations. And after a German victory, at the medal ceremony, the anthem of the Third Reich, the Nazi German Empire of the Second World War, was played. Obviously, just a simple mistake of a wrong download, but a terrible and utterly offensive faux pas. A very dangerous new way of committing faux pas came with Facebook and Twitter. As politicians now sometimes share sudden emotion-based reactions without the proofreading of their teams, the chance for controversy grew significantly. Well, I think you might have heard of a certain President Trump leading the way in regularly posting instinctive diplomatic faux pas. Be careful. Not knowing the cultural customs of your partner can also result in a faux pas. Just don't give someone a present wrapped in a paper in the color which is the color of death in the partner's culture, or use an out-of-date old coat of arms of their country which has been changed years ago. Or don't blow your nose in a country where sniffing it is accepted, or don't sniff your nose in a country where blowing it is accepted. Because these will all count as offensive and embarrassing faux pas if you do it in diplomatic settings. very funny are mistakes when someone copy-pastes addresses on invitations or envelopes and messes up the drill. The best invitation I ever got was addressed to Mrs. Lieutenant David Görömbölyi. And of course, I don't have a military rank, nor am I a Mrs. Now, if something like that happens to an ambassador, a minister, or other top leaders, that's clearly a faux pas. A friend of mine at the embassy of the UK, during one of my postings, received an invitation from the French embassy. And on the envelope, it said, Embassy of the Socialist Republic of the United Kingdom. I mean, isn't that a beauty? Something new, right? A republic of a kingdom. So anyway, it was obvious that they printed the previous sticker to the Embassy of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, and they just forgot to delete the first part in the process. But still, the British never knew if it was some kind of a French trolling or just an honest mistake. So, dear friends, those are the faux pas of the diplomatic world. Let me know in the comments if you have a good story of such a diplomatic mess-up. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you've not done it yet. Have a great day. Keep promoting peace, and see you in the next episode.